Hi and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to do a summer makeup look. So a look that's kind of suitable for your holidays, if you're going to the beach, hanging by the pool, anything like that. So I'm going to keep this look quite fresh and light. And I'm going to be using some of the tips that I shared with you in one of my previous videos, which was my top summer makeup tips. So to start with, I'm going to mix an SPF cream with a concealer. So the reason I'm not going to use a foundation is because I want to keep this look really light and I don't want sort of a heavy film of a foundation on my skin. So I'm going to mix these two together so I get a bit of a coverage with the concealer, but I'm also getting the SPF that my skin will need. So I'm just going to mix these two on the back of my hand now. And then I'm just going to pop some of this on my skin. And then I'm going to use a sponge just to blend that into my skin. I'm really loving the sponges at the moment to apply foundation and concealers and everything. I just find that it gives quite an airbrushed finish to the skin. Okay, then once you kind of apply that to your skin, then you can see if you need extra coverage anywhere. So I can see that I need a tiny bit more concealer under my eyes and maybe around my nose where I have some redness. So I'm gonna use a lighter coloured concealer for my under eye area, just to lighten that area because I have a bit of darkness there. And then I'm going to use kind of more of a fuller coverage concealer for around my nose. And this one is the same colour as my skin tone, which is important when you're covering blemishes or any type of redness or anything like that. So yeah, keep your concealer same colour for those type of things. Then under the eyes you can go a tiny bit lighter than your skin colour. And then when I was mixing the concealer with the SPF cream for my face, I had a slightly darker one because the cream tends to lighten it up when you mix it. So I'll go to my lighter concealer now and apply this one to my under eye area. Okay, then I'm going to just tidy up my brows. As you can see, I don't really have much brows, so I always have to fill them in or tint them, and I haven't had time to tint them, so I'll definitely have to fill them in this time. If you have good brows naturally, then you can definitely skip this step because I would say the least amount of makeup that you have on your skin, the better in the summer heat. But I have to fill them in just a bit. So I'm just using a pencil. Okay, that's enough on the brows. I forgot to put concealer around my nose, so I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to use my finger to apply this. And then I'm just going to use my sponge to blend. And I'm using the sort of pointed side of it just to get in those corners. And then I'll just make sure that everything else is blended. Okay. And then to finish off my skin, I am going to use a tint. So I'm using this as a blush because I don't want to use a powder blush, as I don't want to put much powder on my skin because powders tend to get quite cakey in the summer heat. So I like to use tints as a blush because they have a bit more staying power than cream blush. So yeah, they just, and they look nice and fresh as well. So I'm gonna pop this first on the back of my hand because they do set pretty quick, so you need to be pretty quick in applying them. So I like to put it on the back of my hand first so that it doesn't set too quickly. And then I'm just applying that with my finger again. Just where you would normally apply your blush. So for me, I like to put it on the apples of my cheeks and then going across and up. And then same on the other side. And then you can use your sponge again just to make sure that's blended in properly. And then I'm just going to make sure that my concealer hasn't creased since I've applied it. And then just to make sure that that stays put, I am going to use a tiny bit of translucent powder just to set that. As I said, I don't like to use much powder on my skin in the summer just because it tends to get cakey much quicker than creams and liquids. So yeah, I tend to minimize the amount of powder I put on my skin. But when it comes to concealer, especially around the eye area, I find on my skin it does tend to crease up a bit, so I do need to set it with a little bit of powder. That's it on the powder. And then I'm just going to curl my lashes and apply some mascara, and then that's the eyes done. I would recommend you use a waterproof mascara, or if you don't like using waterproof mascara for any reason, then you can apply a coat of clear mascara on top of your regular mascara, and that will lock the coloured mascara in. And that's the eyes done. The only other thing that I'm going to use is a lipstick. In the summer, I do like to have a pop of colour somewhere, just because I feel it brightens up the face. And the easiest way to do that really is to apply a bright lip. I would usually recommend a tint, again as I said earlier, because they tend to last that little bit longer than regular lipsticks, moisturising lipsticks. So I would go for a tint and then use an SPF lip balm throughout the day just to keep the lips moisturised. But I don't have a tint that is bright enough for the look I'm after today, so I'm going to use a moisturising lipstick. I would definitely recommend staying away from the sort of matte lipsticks just because they're quite heavy for a daytime summer look. So I'm going to be using this neon red lipstick by Maybelline, and it's a kind of an orangey red, you would say. And that's the finished summer makeup look. I hope you like it, and I hope you found it quite simple and quick to do. If I wasn't talking throughout the video, I think I could do this look in about 5 minutes, which is kind of the look you want if you're on holiday. You don't really want to be spending too much time doing your makeup, and it's a nice fresh look without too much product on the skin. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. The tan really well with these and get into, you know, any sort of area I want. And I feel I can take my time to apply the tan without worrying that it's getting all over the palms of my hands.